Get ready with me as I go over all the procedures and treatments I got done in 2024.
$700 Sephora haul,
bringing my total to $7,140.
Okay, so before I started looking into and researching the topic we're going to be talking about today, I honestly had no idea how expensive this entire industry has become. Because today we're going to be going over the beauty industry and the cost of looking beautiful in today's world. And I know we did talk about the makeup industry in previous videos, and that definitely does play a part, but we're also going to be talking about cosmetic surgeries, enhancements, whatever you want to call it, because I honestly had no idea how common this has become with just normal people, not even talking about, celebrities and the super wealthy. And adding on top of that, how expensive these surgeries actually are. So we're going to be going over many different examples along with some statistics and some of your comments from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave it in the comments down below. But before we get into any of the clips, I also just wanted to start off saying that you could do whatever you want with your body. Get all of these different procedures done if you really want to. I know at the end of the day, it is your money, and I know that a lot of these end up being insecurities that people have, and then they get surgeries to try to fix their issues. So I mean, do whatever you need to do, just please don't go into debt, because it doesn't stop the fact that the cost of beauty could get extremely expensive very quickly.
Okay, so I've seen this trend going around and I'm ready to expose myself by telling you how much it costs to look like me. Spoiler alert, pre-pandemic, it was a whopping $7,630. Do I have regrets? Yes.
Get ready with me as I go over all the procedures and treatments I got done in 2024. All right, let's start with the obvious, Botox. I do my 11s, my forehead, and my crows twice a year. I'll do it once before summer and then once before the holidays. I'll also do trapezius Botox, and I'll do that about twice a year as well. I usually do my masseter Botox about twice a year as well, but I've only done it once this year. I'm actually kind of letting them grow out a bit. I've done 2 vials of Sculptra, and I kind of fan out the Sculptra between my temples, my mid-face, but I really focus on my smile lines. I've been doing NAD injections, and I'll do a vial a month. I dissolved some of my lip and then added a half syringe back in. 1.5 syringes between my cheeks and my chin. 2 Moxie treatments. 3 vampire facials with PRP injections under my eyes. 1 CO2 laser treatment underneath my eyes. Lastly, always at the end of the year, I like to do either like heavy duty laser or a chemical peel. So for New Year's, I'm going to do the Cosmelan chemical peel. That way I will have fresh new skin for the new year.
I honestly didn't even know that there were different forms of Botox, let alone all the rest of the stuff she started listing out. Real quick, we could look at the comments from this video. I think financial freedom may be worth aging for me. Pretty reasonable comment. And then right after it, I'm 28. Should I start Sculptra? Which I don't know what that is. It's got to be some sort of Botox type thing, injection, and not even being in your 30s and somebody's asking that. But I didn't even add up all the costs for one single year. It was clearly over $10,000 easily. And apparently this is something that happens every year. It's not like one single surgery, like plastic surgery or something along the lines of that. This is a regular occurrence, all in the name of being beautiful. We could look at some of the stats. Back in 2022, there were approximately 26.2 million cosmetic and reconstructive procedures performed in the US, which was a 19% increase from 2019. And of course, the US has the highest number of cosmetic procedures. So this data was still from, I guess, 3 years ago now, because it's 2025. And with how much social media and influencers and the rise of normal people becoming these Instagram-like models, and then everybody watches their videos and wants to look like them, and they realize that they get a whole bunch of these procedures done, will only end up increasing these numbers. The most common surgical procedures for women in 2022 were liposuction, breast augmentation, and tummy tucks. For men, most common procedures were liposuction, breast reduction, and eyelid surgery. I don't even know what that means, man. Surgery in general freaks me out, but anything around the eyes, man, I don't know why any guy would be getting that. And the most common non-surgical procedure was Botox. Generation X accounted for 45% of cosmetic procedures, so it's all the people legitimately aging and wanting to look younger and getting all of those different surgeries done. Baby boomers, another 30%, millennials 16%, and Gen Z 6%. But as you could see, patients over 70 accounted for just 3%. So there's a certain line where you can't really fight off age. When you're 70 plus years old, you're definitely getting up there in the numbers. You're not going to be able to beat Father Time. But just in 2022, another 11% increase in procedures performed by plastic surgeons worldwide. Even though it is a majority of women getting all of these procedures, it's increasing in men. Here we could see, while women still get more Botox than men, the number of men getting Botox is increasing. You can see in 2021, 85.5% of Botox treatments were women and 14.5% were men, and then it jumped up to 14.9% in 2023. So men are still doing this as well, and I bet you've probably seen, I know it's gotten pretty popular, there's a lot of kind of meme videos on TikTok because apparently going to Turkey is the move if you want to get the hair transplants that a lot of men, I guess, are getting now. And it seems to be much cheaper than getting it in the US, so people are legitimately going over to fly to Turkey to get the procedure done and then flying back. And I mean, from what I've seen in some videos, I'm guessing it actually works. There are a lot of like 1 year update type of videos showing how much it actually is done for people. But when we start looking in the comments, this is still not free, even though it's a cheaper version of doing this. How much? $2,500 to $4,500 going to Turkey. Staying in the US is easily $12,000. So I mean, again, I'll say you could do whatever you want with your body. I know some of these surgeries aren't as serious or as dangerous or have possible negative consequences compared to others, but the constant keeping up with the Joneses, which turns into a lot of people that you follow on social media, will definitely start raking in the bills if you decide to start going down this route. And we have a comment from one of you guys from a previous video that I actually did not catch. And this is in reference to the video where I was talking about people paying off their debt in 2025, which was, you know, generally a positive video. And there was a clip from a woman talking about her no buy 2025. And here, no buy, but still has nails and Botox. And then another comment, yes, call him Botox. Of course, got to have the Botox. What would she do without it? And I didn't understand until I actually looked. And in that clip on the bottom, there was a whole bunch of the no's, you know, not buying the new clothes, beauty products, all of that. And then the yes was nail appointments and Botox 1 to 2 times a year. So this is somebody who is in a ton of debt. Enough to really start trying to cut back on the spending, but apparently the Botox was still out of the question.
You've probably never heard that Botox can actually make you look older, and I'm the only dermatologist that'll probably tell you this. Botox is injected into the muscle and stops it from working, which is a good thing because we don't crinkle up the skin and we don't get wrinkles. But when you start getting Botox in your 20s and you're going in every 3 months for years and years and years, you're not allowing the muscle to work. Facial muscles are like any other muscles. If you're not using it, you're losing it. So it's important to take breaks. I recommend Botox break cycling, where every 2 years you go down by 1 Botox session. This allows the muscles to work so you don't lose it completely.
I don't know, man. Just thinking about, I don't like needles either. I'm like getting grossed out right now. But unfortunately, this has become the norm in celebrity culture. And I mean, it's been around for a while. It's not the complete fault of social media exploding over the past couple of years. But then you just have some off the wall takes, like a comment in this video. I disagree. Haven't you looked at Madonna? She looks 17. Now, I don't know about you, but this does not look like a 17-year-old. I don't know how old she is, but she's definitely getting up there in the age, and you could see extensive amount of surgeries and the fillers and the Botox that she has done. But even though it's probably one of the most popular procedures done today, we could start switching into some other ones and looking at the cost of that.
Here's exactly how much my boob job's going to cost me. I'm getting natural silicone implants with the incision underneath and about 360 cc's. So here's the price breakdown. This was literally the exact estimate that my doctor sent me and that I signed at my consultation. First up, for the basic implants and surgery, it's $6.2K. And then for a required insurance protection plan, it's $390. And then for my anesthesia, it was $550. Then because I've had a lot of friends and family go to this doctor as well, I got a $500 discount, bringing my total to $7,140. Then I had to place a 10% deposit the day I booked my surgery, so that was at my consultation, and the full payment will be due at my pre-op appointment. That is about a week and a half before my surgery.
And we could look at some of the comments with other people's experiences. And here I just paid $14,000 to take them out because they made me sick. You've also probably heard stories or news articles of people having issues with that. I mean, sometimes your body actually rejecting because there's a foreign object in your body, or I mean, starting to have a lot of back pain, not being able to walk around a lot, and losing $14,000 just to be able to take them out, which let's just say it was the same price as this woman, would have been $7,000. So $20,000 just disappears. Here's another comment. My rhinoplasty was $20,000. This is crazy to me. And that's the one where they get their nose done. Even though this video is primarily talking about the outrageous costs from some of these surgeries, I have seen some before and afters of people with pretty unfortunate noses. And I don't believe that there are too many very dangerous, like negative side effects. I mean, I've never looked it up other than it costing $20,000, which is a pretty penny. So even though we're talking about a lot of the negatives of some of these surgeries, I mean, I understand it in a way for some people.
I get asked all the time how much I paid for my BBL, so I'm going to be doing the breakdown of everything. So starting off with actual surgery cost, it was $6,900, and that included a BBL kit, which was the foams, the faja, and a BBL pillow. I believe you could get it for slightly cheaper on Amazon, so I would have declined it if I would have known. Now for post-op care, this is everything that you need after. I am going to post a screenshot here. That way you guys can screenshot it. That is everything that you need for your post-op care to make your post-op and recovery so much quicker and more comfortable. So in total for everything that you need to order off Amazon, I would say $200 to $300. And then as far as massages, they are super, super important. You have to get them. You have to get a minimum of 10 to 21, 24, around there. The more the better your results will be. And those I've seen range from 100 to 175. And other things that you guys have to keep in mind that you guys have to budget for if it's not around your area is the flight, the hotel, and if someone is taking care of you, and food. So that's different for everyone, so I didn't want to include that in here, but just keep in mind to save some money for those things as well.
So there's another one that's getting pretty popular over the past few years, and that's another $10,000. I didn't even know you needed to do massages. Again, I'm not looking any of these procedures up, but I think especially this surgery, everybody has seen something online. Maybe it was a meme or an article talking about the negative effects of getting a BBL. And that's not even including the proportions of people's bodies. Sometimes just looks completely off. I don't really know how it becomes the standard of beauty today in 2025, but I mean, to each their own, I guess. But I've also heard people getting infections. I guess if you don't do the massages, something bad will happen as well. Just a lot of possible negative effects for these types of surgeries. And here we have a clip that I think is increasingly more uncommon in today's world, unfortunately, but at least she's putting in the work, POV working out, because liposuction costs $5,000 and I'm not paying for that. So at least there's some people putting the work in, especially right now at the beginning of the year in the gym. Everybody goes for the first couple weeks, maybe even like a month or two, and then drops off. And with the influence of celebrities and content creators, it's become increasingly more easy to do the mental gymnastics in your mind to just get some sort of surgery to make yourself look beautiful in society's eyes, instead of putting the work into the gym or just accepting you for who you are. But we have another comment from one of you guys. Fake veneers are more noticeable than bad teeth to me. And I definitely agree with that, because I would say around 18 years old, I thought in my mind that one day I'd get veneers, because I never ended up getting braces as a kid. So my teeth are definitely not even. And I thought, you know, one day I would just be rich, because I knew that they were very expensive even back then, that I would just end up getting veneers. But I'm completely past that now, because as we'll see in a second, it ends up looking pretty unnatural with some people. But again, the costs could vary widely depending on several factors. Porcelain ones, a single porcelain veneer could cost anywhere from $500 to almost $3,000, and then a full set almost $6,000 to $25,000. And then another thing that I did not realize, they last for just 10 to 15 years. I thought that this was something that lasted forever. So if you get them somewhat young, you could actually have what, 2 or 3 sets of these, possibly what, $75,000 $500. That's actually insane to think about. A composite veneer, which is a little bit cheaper, $500 to $1,200, only lasts 4 to 8 years. So this is something that isn't a one and done type of surgery. Even if it is pretty expensive upfront, you'd actually have to keep doing this over and over again, which was the same reasoning. Like I told you guys earlier, I don't like any of the stuff near my eyes. I have pretty bad vision. It took quite a while to even be able to put on contacts every day for me, but the laser eye surgery for me was completely out of the question. That stuff freaks me out, and I also found out that that doesn't last forever either. I believe that one is around 20 years. I don't know. I didn't really look it up. Let me look it up right now. It's LASIK eye surgery. I was calling it laser eye surgery. Okay. But it could possibly be even worse. Approximately 95% of LASIK patients retain their vision correction for at least 10 years. So some people draw the short stick and get screwed, but some patients maintaining their corrected vision for 15 to 20 years, which is what I thought. But we'll go back to the veneers. I mean, I think the combination of getting veneers and then whitening it looks very unnatural with almost everybody now. And it's just another one of the procedures that I've seen starting to get pretty popular. It's many of the influencers that are already doing all the surgeries, all the fillers with all the makeup on top of it, and then having the overly perfect white teeth that just look very jarring. But I do think that's a good transition into probably the most popular one because it isn't actually surgery, so it's open to way more people. And of course, that's the makeup industry.
How much does this full face of makeup actually cost? I've never actually totaled up how much my makeup routine actually costs. So as I do my makeup, I'm going to show you guys the products, tell you the price. At the end, we're going to see how much this routine actually costs.
So I'm not going to sit through the whole thing because it takes quite a while, but how many of these videos have you seen pop up on TikTok where it's like a get ready with me? Maybe they'll talk about a story while doing their makeup and they're just using product after product. And especially with what I've seen some of you guys in the comment section talking about how bad some of these chemicals are for your skin, this kind of stuff is only getting more and more expensive. We could just jump to the very end and actually see how much everything costs.
The last step to my makeup routine is the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray from Charlotte Tilbury. I have the big one, so we're going to count for it. This is $58. Before I ever filmed this video, I wrote down all of my products and their prices, and plus the two that I forgot, I added into this price. And the final total for my makeup routine is $979, not including makeup brushes that I use. That is so much more than I was expecting. Do you need to spend this much money to have good makeup? No. Please do not think that. But now that I know that my makeup routine literally costs $1,000, I'm going to use my product sparingly. I cannot afford to buy this all if I lost it all today. Do you think that this makeup looks like it costs $1,000 or is even worth $1,000? Let me know. Honestly, I don't think any makeup is worth $1,000 unless you're going to like the Grammys.
Even with her knowing that it was ridiculously expensive, this is becoming very common, especially with the Sephora hauls. The amount of money you could spend there and get so few products is just unbelievable.
$700 Sephora haul. Clearly have a problem. This is a $100 foundation.
And again, I'm not just going to watch the entire haul, but it almost becomes a contest as well online, as we've seen, which is overconsumption in general. The more products you have or the more expensive the video costs, the more views, the more likes, the more followers you get. So it's just anteing up over and over and over again. And when it becomes so ridiculously expensive and the bar is so high, even when you bring it down here to a reasonable level, it's still very expensive, especially for normal people. I mean, there's a clip here, $4,000 Sephora haul. Are you kidding me, man? Like, how is anybody supposed to compete with that? Unless you are the Instagram model and TikTok influencer with millions and millions of followers and you're getting paid for all of these products. Because those are the people who are really raking in the money. I mean, you could even see here, I know that there's been a couple of products like this where you get like a beauty guru PR package that has like some sort of makeup in it in a really nice presentation, and it's for you to open up on camera to make another TikTok to blast out to your followers and hopefully get the company even more sales. But then you see the other side of it with the people who did get influenced and buy those products, and the packaging is clearly not the same. You're just a normal person. You're not the PR influencer getting all the nice fancy stuff, possibly or most likely for free, and then also on top of it getting paid for it. And I know many people are starting to realize it and purging these types of influencers because it just pushes you constantly to buy more and more items. And on top of what I said previously, some of these products might not even be good for you. Maybe you have some sort of allergic reaction to a product, where I've seen a couple videos on screen right now where they had normal skin, they started using a product that they saw online, and they started to get really, really bad breakouts. Now, I'm not saying that the products that that were being sold to them were specifically dangerous to everybody. It's most likely a very small percentage having these reactions, but it doesn't mean that there are also still possible negative effects for using these. We can look at some of the comments from one of these videos. Pseudo-cream, I think it's pseudo-creme, has actually ruined my face after using it once. Looks like perorial, I don't know how to say that word correctly, dermatitis. I just went through months and months of this. It's awful. Had excellent skin using only face wash and sunscreen till I got on TikTok and everyone said that you need to use a cleaner, toner, retinol, moisturizer, and sunscreen. My skin is awful now. Not surprisingly, I didn't have too much knowledge with all of these makeup products, but as I've seen in my previous videos of you guys in the comment section talking about how much all of these chemicals and all of these different products can affect your skin, it definitely doesn't seem to be a one-off issue, and I think we're going to end this video with a clip that I think really does nail it on the head.
In 2025, I am not going to be shopping the way I have been shopping.
You're gonna see a lot of influencers saying this very thing because it's the end of the year / beginning of the new year. People like to make a lot of bold statements about how their next year is going to go. But really, it's going to go in the direction of however they're going to get that bag. So keep that in mind. This is probably just clickbait.
So at least with that clip, it was the beauty guru with a lot of the makeup products, but this kind of goes with everything we've talked about and seen in this video. It's not just them trying to push the newest item at Sephora on you and all the links in the description. I've seen influencers, both men and women, getting sponsored and doing these surgeries like the Botox, like the hair transplants, being sponsored by these companies and actually doing it, getting the procedure done by them, most likely for free or getting paid for it, and blasting it out to their audience in the same way like they'd be selling a product. You know, links in the description. Here's the company that I worked with, you know, phone number if you want to consult them. And that kind of stuff is just absolutely wild to me because a large portion of these people's audiences are younger and younger people. So you could possibly have some like 16-year-old guy or girl watching this thinking that they need to get that eyelid surgery we saw earlier or any of the liposuction or Botox because they don't look as good as like Kylie Jenner or somebody like that. Along with their possibly having long-term negative effects because they're at early stages of their lives. This kind of stuff is clearly not free and only getting more and more expensive and I guess more popular. So I know on one hand it just sounds like I'm trying to put down everybody who does any sort of these surgeries because I know sometimes it is the insecurity for some people and they would feel a lot better about themselves if they did get it done. So I mean, again, do whatever you need to do, but this kind of stuff costs quite a bit of money, and with many people struggling today just to be able to pay the bills and survive, adding on all of these cosmetic surgeries could really hurt your wallet. So that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and I'll talk to you guys later.